What's going on, guys? As promised, I said I'd make a more detailed video explaining why we need options at the line of scrimmage in Axis football. I'm using Madden 08 here as a example of how you can manipulate the defense in your favor. If you have good players, you want to exploit the defense. I'm going to be using the New England Patriots because they have Gronkowski, and I'm going to show you also, Danny wanted to understand how if you wanted to flip plays at the line of scrimmage, how that would work. He didn't really know how it would work, so I'm going to show it to him here. I'm going to be using the Patriots in trips formation, and I'm going to be sending people in motion and stuff, and it'll be just a visual example of how you can manipulate the defense. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so for this first example, I have 3 wide receivers trips to the right side, and I have 2 receivers on the left side. I'm going to flip the play right here, and you see how one of the receivers goes in motion to the left. And you got defenders moving all around with him. Got a delay of game here, but that's okay. I'm just showing the example of how it would work. I'm going to run the same play again. And I'm going to flip the play. So now we got 3 wide receivers on the left and 2 on the right. Now, that other example I talked about with isolating the tight end, I'm going to show you an example of it here. I have a 2 wide receiver set and the tight end Gronkowski. I talked about this in my last video. Alright, so I'm going to send Edelman in motion to the left. The defender goes with him. That's going to isolate Gronkowski with either a linebacker or safety, one-on-one. Not a favorable matchup for any defender, really. So, look at this. He's wide open because only the safety was covering him. The linebacker went on a blitz, so that made it even easier to get wide open. So I'm going to show you an instant replay here, just to give you more. Slow it down here. The linebacker on the right side is going to blitz. That's going to leave him one-on-one. But see, if I wouldn't have sent Edelman in motion, that huge space that he's got to work with on the right would not be there because the defender would be there as well. In a sense, I'm making the field cleaner, if that makes any sense. By sending Edelman away to the other side of the field and the defender actually went with him, it's going to give Gronkowski all this room to work on his side here, all this open space, because only the linebacker and the safety could cover him. And since the linebacker blitzed, it was only the safety's responsibility, which he blew. So that's just one example there. But I'm going to run this whole drive to show you guys how you can manipulate the defense. And I want to see this ability in Axis football where we can move players around to get favorable matchups. And here I'm just going to show you an example of how you can tell the offensive line to block a certain direction. Here I'm sending Gronkowski in motion to the left, and I'm going to tell my offensive line to block to the right side. Because now that Gronkowski can't be a blocker, I'm going to send him in on the left side, so I need more blocking on the right. But I get the pass off quickly, again to Gronkowski, only for 6 yards. But now we're going to go back to trips again. And sometimes the defenders will not go with your receivers. I mean, that indicates it's probably a zone defense. And see, this is what you can use to kind of get a feel for what's going to happen before the play starts. Here I'm going to send Amendola in motion. Now, not very far. There's obviously rules in motion that have to be respected here. But here I'm going to go deep down the middle to Martin here. And one more play I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to use a 5 wide receiver set. And watch how many times I send guys in motion here. I got a 5 wide receiver set. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it to the left side. So now I have trips to the left. But now I'm going to send Amendola in motion. Edelman in motion here. And now I have Martin pretty much wide open. There's nobody covering him. So I'm stepping up immediately to pass it. See this? He's wide open. That's just how you can manipulate the defense. I want to see this in Axis football going forward if we can. Of course, you're going to have, defenders that are kind of moving around a lot at the line of scrimmage and stuff before the play. See, in Axis football right now, they don't move around before the snap. And I made a video about this earlier. But see how he's wide open. I don't even have to drop back. I step up immediately when I get the ball because I know he's going to be wide open. The linebacker's not going to be able to catch him, and the pass is thrown out of his reach. This is just because I sent enough players in motion to get a favorable play. I'd like to see this in Axis football going forward. Strategy. It's part of football. See you guys next time.